Hi everyone, welcome to Expansion Through the Eclipse. I'm Angela Blaha. I have been having lots of people connecting with me and asking what's happening, what's going on, why do I feel this way or that way? So we're going to do 5 days of expanding through the eclipse because this eclipse holds magnificent energy for us. And we need to be accessing it and using it for all the glory that it is, right? So what is happening? Well, today we're going to talk about the body, the physical body, and what's happening with the body through not only the ascension process, but especially through the high powers of the high energy powers like eclipses or gateways, like the Lion's Gate was not too long ago, right? We have these portal kind of days where there's a double digit kind of portal energy. We have lots of powerful energy that we don't even acknowledge and we don't use to our benefit. So this eclipse is all about having the line drawn in the sand. It's about us being powerful in our knowing, powerful in our being, and powerful in understanding who we are and why we're here. So the physical body has been going through a lot of change. And depending upon how easily you flow or release from your belief systems will determine how easy it is to move through the physicalness of your body. Hi, Renee. So what's happening is the DNA of the physical body, as I've said before, is moving from carbon-based to crystalline energy, right? And if we have belief systems or emotional systems or thought forms that reside in one area in our cell structure, it creates pain and suffering in the body. Symptoms of that are extreme tiredness. I was talking with someone this morning who generally gets up at 6:30 and stays up for the rest of the day, and she had to go take a nap. The other symptoms are anxiety right now. Like the anxiety within us is just the nervous system saying, hey, I have some stress going on. We have some stress. Pay attention to what's going on. The other symptom that I'm seeing a lot of is no sleep, like 2 or 3 hours of sleep, or if you're having sleep, it's very lucid dreaming kind of sleep. And so that seems to be the three big symptoms of this DNA restructuring is really what's happening. It's a restructuring. So last week we experienced a huge energy shift in our root chakra, which sort of, for some of us, probably left us feeling very unsafe, very distracted, and not clear about who we are and why we're here. It brought up a lot of questioning about careers and about relationships. So that happened last week. Now, after that, things sort of settled down. And so why do the energies support that, or why does that happen to us? It happens because if we're not in alignment, in unification with our soul's experience, and through this shift of ascension that we're experiencing right now, the energies bring up those things for us to review, for us to dig deeper into, for us to explore more. And so, and with that comes all of our belief systems, which are primarily fear-based belief systems, and they come up into our awareness and they create anxiety, or they create super tiredness so that the physical body can just shift through the belief systems, through the emotions and thoughts, without having to have the mind go down a crazy rabbit hole that takes us into depression or takes us into further and further into blame, shame, and guilt. All right. So when those things come up, those that's what creates our reality, right? Our belief systems, they create our reality. And if we're out here in anxiety, worrying, right? That's what creates anxiety, is worry. You're always out in the future. Or if you're always in the past with depression, that's where your realities lie. And the only information, the new information that your mind can wrap itself around, is based on those two realities: the future, anxiety, or the past, depression. If you are living right here in the current moment, which is where we need to be living, I can't express that enough. We need to be living right here in the current moment, because in the moment is pure pleasure, pure joy, pure love, right? This is where, in the moment, is where we need to be. Because we can't solve anything unless we're in the moment. And our reality should be created in the present moment. This shift in consciousness is all about that. So if you're experiencing extreme tiredness, anxiety, depression, any of those things, ask yourself, what am I creating in my reality? Is this a belief system? Is this an old belief system? Do I really believe this? Do I really believe this? You hold the power. But if you're giving your power over to anxiety, then anxiety holds the power over you. If you're giving yourself your power over to depression in the past, living in the past, then your depression holds power over you. So the physical body goes to sleep because it doesn't want to have to deal with any of the stressors. Because if you're not diving into them, if you're not examining your present moment, if you're not examining your belief systems, which is what the shift in consciousness is releasing yourself from all belief systems, unattached to your emotions, because your emotions are attached to your thoughts, which are attached to your belief systems. So moving from the DNA, from the carbon-based DNA to crystalline energy-based DNA within us, is the releasement of all those things. So if we're experiencing physical body issues about that, then we have to ask ourselves, what is this really about? What is this experience really about? If I'm having knee pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, been a lot of shoulder pains going on, lower back pains going on, what are you holding there? Our cells, they hold memory. Is there a belief system that's riding in your shoulders? So you have to allow yourself to go into that information. If you're having physical pain, you're already in pain and suffering. I'm going to repeat that. If you're having physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual pain, you're already in pain and suffering. You're still in separation, which belongs to the third dimension. To release your physical body from that means that you have to go into the energy of the pain. We're not getting out of this with a magic pill. We're just not. So the more that you can move into the vibration of whatever is you're resisting, the easier life becomes. And it's simple. It's not hard. It's not difficult. We are lacking a lot of vitamins and minerals as we make this shift from carbon energy to crystalline energy. So what I've been noticing in myself is my magnesium intake has needed to increase. Potassium has needed to increase. Vitamin B, particularly 12, needs to increase. If you can do a B complex, even better. And iron needs to increase. My daily smoothies that I do, I've moved from 2 cups of spinach to 4 cups. So pay attention. If you're super tired, that's what's happening. Your vitamins and minerals are being depleted and it can't support the new crystalline energy within you. So pay attention to that, right? Water, we need to triple our water intake. Even if you think you drink a lot of water, you need to be doubling that. Because that, again, is we're not flushing things through our physical system. We're just allowing them to kind of sit there. And when we allow stuff to sit there, what happens? More pain and suffering. More pain and suffering. Oh, let's see. So when we're moving through or we're releasing some of our limiting beliefs that sort of hold us in place, or our judgments which hold us in place, we have a tendency to become more fearful of who we are. We take the fear, and the fear sort of pushes us into some sort of a reverse kind of a pattern where we take a few steps back. And when we're taking those few steps back, that's really when we start the judgment, right? So in that process, in those experience, try not to allow those few steps back, which is really the body, the mind, the emotions, just sort of integrating the newness, the new pattern, or the new belief systems, or even the emptiness that sometimes the living in present moment, like sometimes there's just emptiness here. All that reversal pattern is doing is just integrating the newness of it. Because once we release from belief systems, like there's almost an emptiness. There's almost it clears all of that old information, and there's a sort of a feeling, almost an anxiety about it, about not having something there, because we're so used to being programmed that we need something. We don't even know what we need, but we need something. Right? So release from that. And just know that that's the new way of being. Free. That's really what freedom feels like. Okay, so how do we release from some of the anxiety? I can't tell you enough times that meditation is the release of stress. Because what happens is we get to go in, and if we're asking questions and we're not getting any answers, it's because we're not going far enough into our own self. So releasing from anxiety is meditation. You can do tapping, right? You could do EFT tapping if you're called to that. Drinking plenty of water. Watching your vitamin and mineral intake. Asking your body what it needs. Our bodies are so nutritionally deprived that really we're yearning and thirsting for so much nutrition right now, especially through in our shift of conscious awareness, that we really need to be asking the body what it needs. And then listen for the answers. Don't think that you know that you need a Big Mac when really you need spinach or something like that. I've been craving potatoes lately. Like, I don't know what it is about potatoes or what's in them that's nutritionally or physically feeding my body, but like the craving is there. And when I deny myself the energy of it, then I'm eating, and I'm not eating what the body is recommending I eat. What happens to me is I crave more, and I crave something else. And then, I'm wandering through the cupboards looking and thinking that I'm hungry for something when maybe I need water. So pay attention to the physical body, right? What does it need? Asking it what it needs. It's super, super important right now. Paying attention to those vitamins and mineral intakes and drinking lots of water. Okay, so let's see if I have any questions here. Restless and unfocused. Yes, Stephanie. In a space of avoiding, that is fear, right? If we're not moving into who we are, where does unfocusedness come from? Let's move into the energy of that for a moment, because that's really one of the physical, right? It's a physical, mental, emotional, spiritual issue, the unfocusedness, the unclarity. And I know that lots of people are experiencing that right now. If we look into the energy of not being clear, there's a lot of fear about actually being who you are. There's a lot of fear, if we really look at it. Unclarity is the unwillingness to step into the power of who we really are. Now, we can just poo-poo that off, right? And say, that's not really what it is. But if we really look into the bigness of who we are, the vastness of our essence, our love, our truth, and if we're not living that, being that every single day, what happens? We end up with fear. We revert back to the old belief systems. We become unmotivated to even try to change. So give yourself a break. Take little baby steps. We don't have to jump off the cliff. I'm a cliff jumper. I like to jump off the cliff. But if that doesn't work for you, then don't do it. Do what works, right? Do what works. Reach out to people. Reach out to someone who can help support you. Don't reach out to those who don't understand you. Reach out to those who do understand you and can support you and maybe possibly help you shift some of the energy. So, anxiety, yes. Ugh, what is anxiety? It's nothing good. Well, it might be good, I don't know. Okay, so that's where we're at in shifting our energy through this eclipse. So paying attention to the physical body, it's really important in how we're going to maneuver through the next few days through this huge, magnificent eclipse energy. And if we're not paying attention to the eclipse energy, maybe you want to start paying attention to it, because it's some big energy, right? And it's powerful energy. And why not use the energies that are provided to us to help us in life? So until tomorrow, have an amazing day and pay attention to that body. Thank you for joining.